Hello, everyone. My name is Julie McVeigh, and this is Unordinary Made Ordinary, where we talk about extraordinary experiences of everyday people. After today's interview, if you would like to continue the conversation of all things metaphysical, paranormal, supernatural, feel free to click on the link in the video description and join our private UMO group. And today, our returning guest, is Dennis Bullock.
Hello, Julie. How are you? How are
Hello.
you?
I'm great. I'm great. I am so excited about this conversation, Dennis. Um, we had a wonderful part one interview
Yes.
not too long ago about your experiences, including a transformational near-death experience. And my listeners were just like, please have Dennis back. Please have Dennis back, because we ran out of time, because you received a lot of information, a lot of
Yes.
downloads, and have gained a lot of insight and understanding even since that, as time has gone on. And so I'm so excited about our little Q&A today. But before we go there, please just share a little bit about yourself for those who have not seen the first interview. And of course, I'll link the first interview for anyone who wants to go back and watch that
Okay.
as well.
Well, first, I'm a singer and saxophone player of pop, rock, soul music, and uh, I had two near-death experiences that changed my life and changed my viewpoint on life. I wasn't looking for that, but it happened. One was with my mother passing, and also one was with my personal death that happened to me. So yeah, and that's basically it. I'm living in Switzerland. I've received some gifts from that experience, and so I do readings for people and energy readings for health and relationships, and my downloads from the other side. I got a lot of downloads and information about the earth, about many questions we have as a soul living in this physical body. And yeah, so that's basically me now. So yeah.
Fantastic. And I did listen to you sent me a few links of your band, or the you're in a few bands, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, two or
And
three.
two, and then your personal stuff on your own. And
Right.
I listened to all of those, and wow, beautiful. I mean, I love it. You're fantastic, very talented.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm
Thank
going
you,
to put
Julie.
those links in too, because
Oh,
I
sure,
had
sure.
I did have a listener who said, could you please give me his links? And I did. And so I'll just put those in this video description too. And you could check them out.
Oh, sure. I'm happy that people can enjoy the music and stuff like that. It's
Oh
always a
gosh, it's
pleasure.
so good. Okay, so if it's okay with you, we'll just get right into the Q&A, so we
Sure.
can make sure to try and cover as much
Sure.
as possible. Now, these are downloads of information that you've received during your spiritual experiences, and
Mhm.
sort of as you've developed a more understanding and getting more meaning from them as time has gone on. For those who, again, who have not listened to the experiences from the other interview, just give us a timeline. How long ago were those experiences?
Oh, oh, it was quite a while, maybe about 10 years ago.
10 years
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's a lot of development, a decade of
Hmm.
assimilating and processing this
Hmm.
information that you said um, was a completely different sort of understanding of how you thought life worked and the afterlife worked. So this was all new information for you, correct?
Oh, totally. I was not really religious, even though I was brought up as a Christian. I didn't really pay so much attention to it. So it was a total a new ball game for me with the information that I received. Yeah.
Okay, so that's very interesting, I think, because your own belief system is not really influencing it too much, because you really didn't have this these beliefs.
No, no,
So
no,
yeah.
no, no. I was not religious. I was just an artist trying to make a living and try to be successful. Um, I didn't. I mean, as a child, that like I said, I had uh, a little bit of a strange haunting in our house.
Yes, right. I remember you
But
telling me that.
that was it. And you know, there was other people who had strange things sometimes in their houses, so it didn't really affect me in a big way or a religious way. It was just some kind of strange phenomenon. I knew that
Hmm.
some strange things in life can happen, but that was it. There was no other beliefs behind it.
Right, right. Okay, so let's start off. I kind of put this in categories to help keep us organized. So I'd like to ask some questions that are sort of in the category of religion, I guess I would say.
Okay.
So does God believe in religion, or what religion is God? What can you say about that?
Well, I would say God is in everything, in all religions, um, but in a different way than most people interpret it. Um, any religion that has love in it, compassion, joy, I mean, God is there. But even the other religions, I mean, what I can tell you, what my downloads, what God feels about religion,
Yes.
and that is that God is only concerned about the love in the religion.
Mm,
He's not concerned about the rules. He's not concerned, or it's not concerned about how many times you go to church. It's not concerned about how often you pray. It's not even concerned about if you're if you are following every commandment in the Bible. He's more concerned about your heart, where's your intention and your love. That's the only concern it's concerned about. The
now,
rest is not so important, even though we put importance to rules and
yes.
oh, it has to be on Sunday and it has to be at 7 o'clock and you have to wear white, you can't wear black, you have to do this, you have to do that. But God is not concerned about none of that. It's more concerned about, well, are you kind? Are you feeling love in that place?
Mm.
Is it helping your life? Is it bringing you joy? Are you sharing that joy? Um, that's it.
So simple, right?
Yes, yes.
And you say it, so no gender or both genders or how,
Everything.
okay.
I would say God, I wouldn't say God's a man, I wouldn't say God's a woman, I would say God is both and all. Even though my when I heard God, it was kind of more like in a man's voice, but it's always um what I got in my downloads, it's always our perception of God. But the more I stayed over there, the more I realized that God was so much bigger than a man or so much bigger than, but my perception at that time of what God would sound like,
Mhm.
because I perceived it as a man, God communicated me that way. That's more
Right.
comfortable to me.
Sure.
So God can come as Virgin Mary, God can come as so many different things because they communicate with you at first, whatever your idea is more comfortable to you.
Right. Hmm.
And as you go on in time in the other side, um, the more reality starts to download into you,
Mm.
and then you begin to see more of what the real God is than more of what your perception of God is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes,
That makes
yes.
sense to me. Um, okay, I'm going to talk a little bit or ask some questions about Jesus. And I know
Okay.
that he's associated with one particular religion, but we talked about Jesus a little bit, and
Mhm.
I was just wanting a little more clarification. You mentioned that there are many Jesuses. What does that
Okay.
mean?
Well, my downloads that there were actually physically many Jesuses that
Physically.
came, yes,
Oh, okay.
that came with the message of
Oh,
love. And what these Jesuses did, they brought the consciousness of the other side to the physical. And that was one of the
okay.
reasons why they were able to do a lot of miracles, was because they brought that consciousness down to the physical. And
Mm,
and that was for me, that was probably one of the special things. But that was my download of what I got. And also,
Interesting.
and after I looked up on my downloads, and I found that there were many sightings of different Jesuses, exactly like my download
Okay.
in India, in France, in Rome, in many different sightings. And
Okay.
so I said, well, Jesus couldn't have been everywhere all the time. So it has to be many different ones. And that was the download that I got. And
Hmm.
so I mean that kind of makes people, I don't know for the religious people, but that's what I got, and I believe my downloads.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you go to look up about Jesus, you're going to find, yes, there was one in Jerusalem. There was also one in India. There was also one in France. There was a man that came, and his name was Jesus, and he did a lot of things in the south of France.
Okay.
There's many you're going to find after a while. There were many occurrences
Hmm.
that it would be impossible that it could just be one person going around to different places. It was too many different places at the same time. So because he
Interesting.
disappeared. Yeah, he disappeared at one point up until he was 33. I think it was from 12 years old or some age. He had disappeared for a few years,
Hmm.
and then he came back around 30 or something, back to the Roman
On this.
situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these physical Jesuses, you're saying around the same time frame? He was
Yes. Yes. Yes.
okay, around the same time frame,
Mhm.
several, and usually the same name, or always the same name as far as you know, used?
Well, somewhat of the same name, yes.
Okay.
Um, uh, Basically represented Joshua. Then they gave him different
Okay.
names, but it
Huh.
was different people, but kind of the same situation as Jesus.
Hmm.
That's why I
Same.
said different Jesuses, but with the same,
Okay.
what we call Christ consciousness.
Oh,
That's something else that came down, but I can explain
yes.
that later. But yeah.
Yes, actually that is on my list. But before I ask that,
Mhm.
you shared that we've misinterpreted Jesus as written in the Bible, and you said something
Yes.
about him being more of a brother, and I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit.
Okay. First, I want to say, um, the Bible, the download I got about the Bible, all is not true. That's number one. It was manipulated by the high priests, the church, basically, and the government, because they
Okay.
were afraid. They were afraid of Jesus, or Christ, or Joshua, or whoever you want to call him. They were very afraid of him. So they manipulated the Bible and his words to make more people afraid. That's why they made about karma. That's why they made
Oh.
about separation. That God, you cannot go only through Christ. That's the only way to God. The rest you can't meet God. This was not what Christ was saying. Christ was saying the kingdom of heaven is inside you, which is basically saying your soul is the kingdom of heaven. So it's
Mm,
no way. And he was also saying that these miracles I do, but you can do even greater.
mhm.
So because people like to put him at the top of the thing and then it's them. But
Yes, yes.
on the
Right.
other side, there is no hierarchy. There is
Okay.
no, well, this one is greater and that one is greater. God sees everybody the same, the same. So Jesus on the other side is like a brother. You're a sister to him. He's a brother. That's all. Not a father, not this. He's a brother.
Mhm.
That's it. Who came with a message. And he came with a message of the consciousness from the other side to the physical.
Mm.
And that was his message. And his message was that you have light, you are soul, and also you also are a God.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. That's why he said, you can I can do these things, but you can even do greater.
Hmm.
Now, if he was only the son of God and that was it, he would have never said that,
Mhm.
because I'm the son of God. No one can do greater than me. You
Mhm.
see?
Mhm.
But
Yes.
that's not true. That's not true. So that's why he said that. But there are things in the Bible that are true, and there are things in the Bible that are not true. And this is what my download was. It was, I didn't, before this download, I didn't really care either way. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
was not into Bible scholars and all that stuff. I was not into that at all.
Hmm.
I was just into music, or you know, writing a song or lyrics or something. So
Interesting. Okay.
this information came in, and that's so I got it, and I said, oh, okay, okay. Um,
Right.
so I was shocked about Jesus, and I said, oh, there were many Jesuses, and then I got another download about Christ consciousness.
Yeah,
And
I was going to ask you about that as well.
yeah, well, the Christ consciousness is right under unconditional love. It is a consciousness. It's a very high consciousness, but
Okay.
it's right under unconditional love.
Oh.
And the consciousness is basically an awareness of the love of who you are. The love of, if you know who you are, then you know who others are, which is a part of you, which is a consciousness of love. You are love. You're not the act of showing love. You are the love.
Hmm.
You
Wow.
know, it's like you're, you know, you're not tasting the ice cream. You are the ice cream.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You know,
Wow.
so it's not, you're not showing the love. You are the love. And this is the Christ consciousness. Okay, it's an actual consciousness on the other side, called Christ consciousness, which is just underneath unconditional love. Of course, God is unconditional love. So that was the download I got about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing about the religions, and I saw that, I mean, God only cares about the love, and he loves anybody in any religion. Doesn't matter. It's all about the love that's in the religion, not about separation or even rules.
So what is your understanding of karma? How would you define karma? And you're saying that that's really not a true concept?
No, that was another surprise. In my download, it was that karma is not karma. For example, if you hurt somebody's feelings all the time, or hurt people's feelings, or mean to people, you
Hmm.
put yourself on a frequency. Everything is vibration and frequency.
Mm.
And what happens is, when you're on that frequency, you give out a certain thing, you say a certain thing, and you also open yourself to that frequency.
Hmm.
So that means it also can happen to you. So
Okay.
if you're putting people down, guess what? You're opening yourself to that frequency, and you will be put down.
Okay.
But it's not because you're punished. It's not because oh, you have a debt and now you have to pay it.
Gotcha.
No, it's only because you're on the radio station of rock, and that's what you're going to get, more rock. If you're on the radio station of
Yeah,
classical,
yeah.
you're going to get more classical. And that's what it is, basically, kind of like the law of attraction. But
Yeah.
on the other side, it works faster. It's a little bit delayed on this dimension.
Okay.
It works, but it's a little, there's a delay.
Sounds like you're saying it's less of a legal system and it's just more of physics of
Yeah,
how
it's more
the reality
yeah,
of the nature of reality.
yeah, it's like gravity. You have gravity over here. Well, gravity on the other side basically is vibration, it's frequency.
Okay, so this goes into the question of right and wrong. Is there right and wrong then? I guess this relates to that. Is there sin? You
Well,
know?
here's the okay. Here's the shocking part that shocked me
Okay.
when it came into me. There is no right or wrong on the other side. None. Now, what there is that there's low vibration and there's high vibration. Now, how God sees this is that somebody on a lower vibration, they're taking the long way home.
Mm.
Somebody on a higher vibration, which is a person who's giving love and good and kindness, they're taking the short way home.
Mm.
Example, Napoleon. He puts on a costume, he's in Earth. He plays this role, he's killing people, he's doing all kinds of stuff. But when he passes, when he dies,
Uh-huh.
it's only left his soul. And what is his soul made out of? Love.
Okay.
His soul is made out of love. So that's a role that he is playing. That's a vibration that he was on. And that's all. That's
Hmm.
it. God doesn't see, oh, I must punish you. The only thing, now that we're on karma, the only thing about karma that I would say that I got in my downloads that's um, possible is that when you have your life review, everyone will have one. Um, on this life review, what I got is that you feel everything that you ever did to someone else, and you feel what they felt. So if you gave love, you're going to feel the person that you gave that love to, you're going to feel what they exactly felt.
Hmm.
If you gave bad feelings or argument or you hurt someone, you're also going to feel exactly what they felt. So a person like Hitler, who destroyed or hurt millions of people, is going to feel that in his life review. It won't be forever. It won't be this eternal forever torture, because on the other side, everything is much faster, high vibration, so everything moves faster. But he will feel it, and nobody wants to feel millions and millions of people's death, despair, and torture. Nobody wants to feel that. So that's about the best, if you're going to say karma, that I could say. But even that does not last. It's not forever. It's going to go by. In human times, it goes by zip, because
Hmm.
fast, because and souls do everything much faster. But when they experience it, it'll feel like it's much longer. But in reality, if I was to compare it in human time, it's fast. It's zip. It's gone.
Well, so how how would you explain then some of the near-death experiencers who have hellish experiences as if they've gone to hell, and or
Okay.
the heavenly experiences and they've gone to heaven, you
Okay.
know?
Mhm. Well, okay, this is the download I got about hell. Okay, the first thing you have to understand is that your soul, it's very powerful, more powerful than we even imagine. And what you believe, you create on the other side. So those people who they die and they go to hell because they believe that there was one, and they had fear about it.
Hmm.
And that fear created the hell. Now, in their religion, Christian or Catholic or whatever, in hell, they're not supposed to leave hell. They're not never supposed to, it's supposed to be forever.
Permanent,
You're
yeah.
forever there. But why do hundreds of people come back? Because when a soul realizes that it's in hell, when it realizes that I'm the one creating it, it wasn't created by God. God didn't create that. They created it. They leave.
Hmm.
And it's the same for heaven. When a soul goes to heaven and they realize, okay, there's maybe Jesus, maybe Mary, Virgin Mary, a few angels, Gabriel, and there's hardly nobody else, and there's nothing to do, they realize that, wait a minute, I'm creating this. I created this. And once they realize that, they leave, because they realize that this is not created by God, it's created by themselves, because they are gods.
Hmm.
They start to realize exactly who they are. And once they realize that they are gods with a big G, they can create a whole universe with a thought, one thought,
Wow. Uh-huh.
one person, one thought. Then they realize it and they leave, just like the hell people. So that God does not punish anyone. God loves everyone. And I'm going to say it again, God loves everyone. The psychopaths, the Neil Dahmers, the Hitlers, the Genghis Khans, all of them, they're all given the same love as Mother Teresa.
Mm.
Now, the thing is, what people don't realize is that we choose. First thing, they don't realize that the Earth is. This was a shocker for me. The Earth is actually a game. It's a game that souls on the other side have created for other souls to experience third dimension, third
Okay.
density, okay? Because the earth was on a lower dimension, and you cannot experience those experiences on the other side. Can't. Okay. So they created this game called Earth. Your soul is perfect. Your soul has all the information. You don't come to Earth to go to school to learn. You know everything already. You come to Earth to experience. And the other side, it's like you driving a car. You read the book on how to drive a car, but you never really did it. You never physically did it.
Right.
So you come to Earth to actually have that experience, to drive that car.
I get what you're saying.
And in the experience, I'm not saying that it's not possible that you could have learned something. It's possible, but it's not because you had to. It's not because you need to, for your soul to grow.
Okay.
It's not for none of those reasons.
For
It's not
fun.
because
Sounds like it's for fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same. They had this program called Naked and Alone, where people would go in the jungle and only have very little food
Yeah.
and very little
I
things.
watch it. It's called Naked and Afraid. It's a
Afraid,
fascinating
yeah.
show. Like, I
Well,
would never do that. That's why it's
yes,
so
but that's
fascinating.
exactly what the souls do. That's why they come here to experience that. Because on
Yeah.
the other side, you're never alone, only if you want to be. You have all the power in the world. You have everything. There's no fear. There's no anger. There's only love and joy and positivity and fun.
Huh. Yeah.
So why would you leave that? And the love of God is incredible. It's 1,000 times what you could experience on the earth. So why would you leave all that and come down
Right.
here?
I always wonder.
Well,
That's a good
that's the
question.
reason. It's the same reason why we watch a horror movie, to be entertained for the experience, or the same reason why we go on a roller coaster. It's
Yeah.
terrifying, but everybody's waiting in line to go on. They can't wait.
The thrill of it.
Exactly. And the experience. So that's basically what I got in my downloads about
really
why we come here. Why we come here.
I have heard that that idea before, that those who choose to incarnate on the planet Earth are like into extreme sports in a sense, like people who have not incarnated, or I guess I don't know if you call it people, but beings who have not incarnated on Earth. I've heard they will say, "What? You went to Earth? Whoa, that's pretty impressive." Have you heard of that?
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yes. Well, yeah. Let me tell you this download. It's like you have a group of souls that they call your soul group. Okay. You're on that. You're talking with your soul group. Could be 10 or 12 people, and you're saying, "Hey, did you hear about that game called Earth? I'm gonna go play." And they say, "No." "Yes, I'm gonna go play that game." You're gonna go play, and you're gonna become physical and really, but they say, "But I'm not gonna forget that I'm a god." And they go down and they play the game and they forget that they're a god. And then they die and they come back and they say, "Oh, that game was incredible, but I forgot that I was a god, but it was incredible." And your other friend says, "Well, I'm going to go play that game, but I won't forget that I'm a god. I'm going to play that game. I got to play it." And they go down and they play the game.
My
and
goodness.
and when you come back from Earth, all your soulmate friends can experience all you experience through your energy.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That's wild.
They can experience exactly what you experience. I mean, every moment from birth till death, they can experience it all. It's like when you come back, you're the new movie in town. You're the new film that's on town. Did you see the movie Earth? Oh my God, I have to see that.
Earth, starring Dennis Bullock.
Yes, starring Julie. Yeah,
right.
It's like that. It's like that. And so that was
So
the
if I'm in
download
your
I got.
soul group, when I go back, I can experience your life as a musician.
Sure can.
In my soul
Yes.
beingness.
Yes, and you every experience, every physical emotion, everything. All.
Wow. Okay.
It's incredible. That's the download I got. It's incredible.
Yeah, that is pretty.
It shocked me so much. Yeah.
So, do we get to plan our life here to some degree?
That's a good question. Well, the thing is, I had a client once ask me, do we have free will or do we have destiny?
Yes.
And the answer was both. Because we do plan, our mothers, our fathers, our children, if we have any, our best
Huh.
friend,
Okay.
even our animals, our cats, our dogs, and certain people we're going to meet in our
Wow.
life. We plan that, but we still have the free will that if we grow up in that family, but if we don't like that family, we can leave that family.
Okay.
We can, I don't like my family. I disown them or whatever, or I don't like my best friend, or I don't want that husband anymore, or I don't want that wife anymore. We can leave that. But
Okay.
there's certain what I call landmarks in the earth where we certain people or situations we're going to have
Interesting.
no that
Gotcha.
we've planned already, our
Okay.
children also, but we always have the free will to accept it when it comes, or we don't want that to be my best friend anymore. I don't want that to be my
Mm.
best friend, and we can reject it. We always have the free will. So it's
Mm.
basically both.
Okay.
It's half and half. Yeah.
Interesting. So some things are fairly solidly planned out, but we can
Yes,
take different
yeah.
turns.
Yes, we can take different routes with them.
Hmm.
The people we're going to meet, there's certain people we will meet right away, and it doesn't matter what happens. Sometimes you just meet the person and you think, oh, it's by accident, and they turn out to be your lifelong life friend.
Hmm.
Even people that you didn't grow up with, this is my lifelong friend, and I met them by accident, but it wasn't really accident. It
Mm.
was actually planned that you would meet them, because you make what we call soul agreements on the other side. They agree. You with your soul group, and you say, I'm going to the earth. And some of your soul group says, well, I want to go the same time you do. Oh, really? So, um, and you say, well, I'm going to I think I want to have a son and a daughter. And one soul group, I'll be your son. And another one, I'll be your daughter. And you say, and I think I'm going to come as a man or a woman, and I'll be your husband, or I'll be your wife. And you agree to that, and it
Wild.
happens. That's how you,
So
yes.
our souls are not male or female either. It's no gender when you're in a soul
Well,
situation.
basically, your soul, you change gender every time you incarnate. You can change gender from a man to a woman, or gay, or lesbian, whatever you want.
Hmm.
Um, and when you go back, you tend to stick with what you were the last lifetime,
Oh,
or
okay.
what your favorite one was.
Oh, interesting.
Or there's one more, or you don't be either, and you're just a light being, your natural being. And your light being is just, it's just light, it's just energy. It's not necessarily a identification of male or female.
Wait, are you in the physical though? But your light being in the physical? I'm confused by that.
Okay. On the other side, you're vibrating at a high vibration, first thing. Second thing, souls, you're not in the physical three dense world.
Right,
That's the thing.
right.
But you exist. I mean, you definitely exist. So so no, you are your soul is basically a light energy.
Okay.
It's an energy of light. Okay. You can take whatever form you want, or whatever identity that you feel is more comfortable to you.
Oh, while I'm on the other side.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yes. When you
Okay.
come into the other side, I mean, you're coming from an earth life, so you carry that
Oh,
identity
I
with you.
get you. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
you
saying.
you carry that identity with you, but you have an
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
identity. Even now you have your identity, and beside that, you're a woman. If I was to take that away, you still have your character, your personality, and that's going to stay. Rather you want to express it as a woman, or whether you want to express it as a man, that's still going to
Right. When I'm on
stay.
the other
That
side. Okay.
personality, if you're very curious, if you're very funny, if you that's still going to stay. you
Okay.
don't you
So
don't
I'm
lose
never
your
going to lose
personality.
my curiosity.
Never going to lose your personality, never.
Um, okay, so I would like to know, I'm going to try to move forward with
Hmm.
what are ghosts then when here on Earth? What is that?
Okay. Well, ghosts are the ones that don't want to leave the game. Now here,
Oh,
that's a very powerful thing. There's two things that happen with ghost situation. Sometimes the ghosts don't know that they're dead, and they don't want to accept that they're dead.
Yeah.
So they stay in the house that they lived in, and they try actually to do the same things they used to do,
Interesting.
but
Okay.
it doesn't work anymore, and they stick
Hmm.
around. Now there's the other side of it is, and they are also, oh yeah, they're also still in the game,
Hmm.
because you have to leave the earth, you leave their whole earth plane to be out of the third density. If you're not, you're still in the game.
Hmm.
You're still in the game.
So the ghosts are kind of experiencing a third density still.
Somewhat, yeah, they're still experiencing slight duality, because
Gotcha.
duality is a part of the game.
Mm,
There's still, yeah, they're in the game, and they're kind of, they're not trapped, but they can leave, but they don't want to.
hmm.
And also, the light will come. The light will come to them. God will come to them and offer them the way home. But it's God gives you
Free
free
will
will.
still.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't want to go,
Huh.
or let's say some souls are even afraid of God.
Yeah.
They don't want to go for whatever belief system they had or whatever. So, and you'll have angels or guides come to visit them and say, "Don't you think you should come home?" And sometimes they reject them. And I don't want to know what you are. I don't want to go home.
Right.
So it can last quite hundreds of years before they actually go home. And then some people have mediums come to those places and guide them to the light. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you. The light is there for love. It's not going to hurt you. Don't be afraid to go to the light, because people, they get so afraid of God, because they believe so strongly on the earth
Yes. Yes.
there was no God, or something total contrary, that they don't want. They're afraid to go with the light. They're afraid
Hmm.
of it.
Wow. Okay. So this brings me to the question, can we communicate with those spirits who are here still on Earth and the ones on the other side?
Definitely, yes. The
Okay.
first thing is that oh, okay, I'll give you my first download about that, was that the minute you think about a dead person, they appear in front of you, but they don't appear in your vision, but they are there right away, because you said their name,
Mm,
and they say, they appear, and they like, well, what do you want? You thought about me. What is it?
okay.
But you cannot hear them unless you're quite sensitive to the other side, or you're able to communicate and quiet your mind. You may hear them, but most
Mm,
of the time we're too, in this third dimension, we're too caught up, and we block, so we don't see them, but they're there. It's like airplane propeller. It goes very fast, and it looks like it disappears, but if you put your hand in there, you're going to find out it's there, because it will hurt your hand or cut your hand off. It's there. So they're on this high vibration. So they're
mm,
there, but we can't really see them. But we can, they hear us talking. The minute we talk about
mm,
them, they appear. We can talk with them. And sometimes, if we quiet our minds and open our heart and open our soul, we'll be able to communicate. We'll be able to hear them communicate. They communicate with us
mm,
in many different ways. News people who just went over the other side, they do it in different ways. It could be through animals, it can be through objects that you loved, or a penny that they used to like, or a book all of a sudden falls off the bookcase and you don't know why, and it was a book that they read, or a book with your picture in it. Stuff like that. They come in our dreams
mm.
also, when we sleep, because that's the time when we relax that mind and we stop thinking, and that's also the time when our souls do a lot of work. So they also visit then at that time, and they come into our conscious, because that's the only way they can put a message to our consciousness, if we're blocking too much when we're consciously physically awake. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you along these same lines. You mentioned pets. It's so fascinating to me that you said we even choose our pets. I haven't heard that before, but I was thinking that I must have been kind of tapping into this interview already, because this was yesterday or the day before with my cat. And I was
Hmm.
thinking, I feel like you've been with me all along, and even through my other cats. And I don't know how that works, but it's almost like I feel a piece of my other cats maybe in my current cat.
Hmm. Hmm.
my past cats. Anyway,
Mhm.
can we communicate with our animals on the other side? And the other question related to this was, what is our soul doing when we sleep? Because that was very interesting.
Okay, well, that's a big question, but let's get with
Okay.
the animals first, and then we'll
Okay.
go to that. Um, First thing, here's another surprise in the download was that animals, their souls, like you and me, they came to play this role. That was it. They're a
Okay.
soul. And on
Okay.
the other side, if a person dies and they see their animal, they might appear as the animal at first on life, and then they will change that form to a soul
Okay.
because
Wow.
they are souls. And that's why animals are so smart, and they even spiritual, because they know things. They know when you're going to come before you even get there. They know
Right.
if you're sick, they can become sick because you're sick.
Hmm.
Here's another one, to download I got. Cats are healers.
Okay.
Dogs are meant for us to play, to enjoy life, to play. That's all. They're not meant to, oh, the best friend, I serve you. No, they want you to play. They don't want you to take life so serious.
Okay.
They always want you to play. The dogs.
Yes.
The cats do whatever they want. They're totally independent, but they
Yes.
are healers. They actually heal your energy. They heal your vibration. When you pet a cat, you actually just love this feeling. They're healers. They
Yes.
are natural healers. The cats are powerful healers. Okay, that's my download.
I'm
They're
telling you,
powerful
I
healers.
go to my cat when I'm feeling I need a little boost of positive energy to pet
Yeah.
her. And
Yes,
she starts
exactly. Yes.
purring, and I start getting that warm feeling.
Yes, I'm telling you, they are healers. The
And when I want
dogs,
silly
mhm,
time, I have my
mhm,
dogs. You're right.
right. And the
Yeah,
dogs are for
absolutely.
joy and play, for you to play. Let's play because
Oh, so much. Yep.
they're there for you to experience life not serious, but to have fun.
Hmm.
Dogs don't take life serious. They want to have
Oh,
fun. They want to play. Hey,
yes.
come on, have some fun. Let's play. Cats are a different story. Cats are there to actually heal you. They're healing energies. And that was the download I got. And I found that later on to be true. When
Mm.
I said, oh my goodness, that's true. That's right. Some of these downloads were incredible. They really changed my whole way, how I look at animals, how I look at people, how I look at the life. And yeah,
Huh.
sorry.
So my current cat could possibly be the reincarnation of my other cats in the past.
Yes.
Mm. Because there's something about her. I'm like, I know you from before.
And yes, and you might know it from the other side. And yes, yes, because they're souls like you are.
And we can communicate with our cats or dogs or pets who've
Oh,
passed on
that, yes,
as
definitely.
well.
Definitely.
That's pretty cool. That's a big question too that I often hear people.
And also you can feel them sometimes. You can
Mm,
call their name and you can feel them. They're there. Because the minute you call any soul,
mm,
it will come.
wow. Yeah, I have
The
some things.
minute,
I have some
yeah.
stories that I won't get into about past pets, but yeah, this all
Yes,
rings true to
I-
me.
I'm trying to tell you that this was my download, and it was incredible.
Yeah, it's
And I
amazing.
wasn't in before. I wasn't into cats, and I have a friend who has a cat, and I started to pet the cat,
Hmm.
and I started to feel something that I
Yep.
don't feel with dogs. And I was petting the cat, and I was like, "Oh, that's true."
Uh-huh. That's
And
interesting.
I felt better, and it was something about the cat, and that's what it was. The
Wow.
download. Cats are healers.
Cool.
Their vibration, their
Hear
frequency
that,
is to heal.
everyone? Adopt a cat. And a dog. And a dog.
And a dog
So
to play. That's right.
yes, you need a bit of both.
That's right.
Oh, the soul. What is our soul doing when we sleep?
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. I think
Getting excited here.
that one really
It's
got
an
me on
exciting
here.
conversation.
Um, what our soul is doing, sorry, what our soul is doing while we sleep, many things. First thing, when our soul leaves our body every night. That's the first thing. We are doing a lot of things for the earth, energy grids. We are doing a lot of different kinds of energy work. Sometimes you may go to sleep and you wake up the next day and you're more tired, even though you went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And how can that be? I wake up and I'm so tired because your soul did a lot that night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's
Mm-hmm.
also sometimes low energy beings that try to stop you, because when we are traveling and working on the other side, when we sleep, we're actually helping the earth
Okay.
with energy grids, with how the humanity is affecting the energy of the earth. Also, just a bunch of different, how can I say, energy work? Yeah.
Energy
Um,
work. Okay.
yes, energy work,
Hmm.
and we're traveling, and also we have a block on ourselves that we won't remember exactly what we're doing, because if we do remember, we won't come back,
Oh.
because it's so wonderful on the other side. We won't come back. So we personally have a block that's put on us by us, so we won't remember while we're playing this game
Mm.
that we are doing all these things, wonderful things too. I mean, we're doing, but it's what I would consider energy work. It's not on the physical; it's more on a spiritual, or more on an energetic work. Um, Also, sometimes you may come back to your body, and you're awake, but your soul is outside your body,
Yeah.
and that's because you came back, but you didn't do it correctly when you came back, and so your body woke up, and usually it's corrected, and it doesn't happen
Okay.
very often.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't, this is interesting because I don't know if you know this, but I go out of body on a regular basis for the last
okay.
few years. That's sort of what started this channel and this journey, is because
Oh, great,
but
great.
I was self-initiating it. I was trying to do it. I know some people it
Hmm.
happens spontaneously, but I was
Okay.
trying to do it. And
Uh-huh.
anyway, we can talk about that after.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but so I was wondering how this might relate to our dreams. So when we come back, or when we wake up and we might remember dreams, is that related at all to what we were doing out of body, or is that unrelated, or do you not know?
So, well, sorry, I do know, and it's
Oh,
the subconscious, unconscious mind with the physical body. It's not to do with the soul.
oh, okay. So that's yeah, I was thinking maybe that's
Mm-mm.
just subconscious stuff,
No, it is
dreaming.
subconscious. It's only subconscious stuff. You know.
So, okay, interesting. Um, okay, let's move on to the um, afterlife stuff.
Okay.
Um, okay, we talked about the soul can leave the body
Hmm.
for a traumatic event. You had
Oh,
mentioned that. I
yes.
think that's really important to maybe touch upon, if you could.
Okay. Well, okay. For example, when I said there is no wrong or right on the other side.
Yeah,
So let's say here we have a guy that's murdering children. Okay. First thing, your soul leaves your body before any traumatic event. It leaves the body. So you will not feel the murder. You will not feel the car accident. And you might even have people told you, I left my body before we impacted. Every time slowed down.
yeah,
And
right.
why does
Yeah,
time slow down? Because your soul is now outside of your body. It's not in time space anymore. It's
okay.
outside time space. And that's why it slows down, because your soul is out. It does not feel murder. It's not even there when the murder takes place.
Huh, okay.
Okay. So you're not conscious of that at all. Never. That's that download I got.
Hmm.
Even when my heart stopped, when my heart was stopping, my soul was kind of letting me know, hey, okay, your heart's going to stop, so we're gonna pop out. We're leaving. Your
Yeah.
heart is stopping, so we're leaving. So I didn't even feel my heart stop. I just popped out of my body, and I realized that, oh, I think you're out. I think you're dead. And it wasn't a scary thing. It wasn't. I kept my personality. It wasn't even. In fact, it happened so fast and so easy that I had to check, am I really dead? And then I saw my body on the hospital bed, and I'm standing, and my body's laying down. I said, yeah, you're a goner. So, and so yeah, so you don't, the person in a tragic or dramatic death, they don't feel the death because their body leaves before, their soul leaves before. Yeah.
I actually heard that it's more challenging, traumatic, if you will, to be born rather than to die. The death process is I've heard is easy. I've heard this from NDEers. Yeah,
Yes.
you just you just here and then you're there. And from some of their information that they've received, they say, and the birthing process is actually can be much more
Well, that's
traumatic.
the I've got that. That's more traumatic because all of a sudden you're in a place that you don't know how it works anymore.
Oh, right. Right. That's
You
true.
just you come from a place that you have all knowledge, then all of a sudden you're in this small body. Your
Right.
energy field is huge. And now all
Okay.
of a sudden you're in this small body. It's like somebody threw you into a small room. And all of a sudden you're in this room and you don't know what to do. You're in a foreign country.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen next. You seem to not have the control you had before. You're a baby and you don't have control almost of anything. You only have vision and thoughts. So that's pretty spooky.
Yes, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of that, what is it like on the other side? What are souls doing on the other side?
Ooh, this download was probably one of my most amazing, that blew my mind when it came into me. Um, on the other side, you can do basically everything and anything.
Oh, okay. That's a
Now,
lot.
now, now, this is going to blow people's mind. Here we go. This is really going to blow your mind, but I believe it because all my downloads I've saw and felt that this is the way it is because it's all rang true to me. And it the download said that it. I mean, on the other side, like I told you, you're a god within a big G.
Creator.
On the other side, you can create a galaxy, you can create planets, you can create a physical body if you want to, and you can create a partner if you want to. You can have also sexual encounter with this partner on a beach that you created.
Mm-hmm,
You can create, you can go back in time. Let's say you in your last life,
mm-hmm.
um, you met this person and it didn't work out, but that was the true love of your life or whatever. You can go back in time as a god and go to that very point and go to a timeline where it does work out and you experience that whole life as
Oh.
if you wanted, if what would have happened if I had a went with this person and I would have met this person and we didn't break up or we didn't,
Mm-hmm.
you can experience that whole life.
So you can experience any time potential timeline of any of your lives that you've lived?
Any potential timeline and all timelines if you want at the same time.
Whew. That's that's a lot.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's
Okay.
power. It's power
So
on that
that
other
makes me
side.
well, okay. But if you've never lived, let's just say you've never experienced a human life, that's another question. Can we choose to incarnate into an ET, another planet, live on another planet, in other words, and live
Okay, here we
life?
go. Here we go. You can reincarnate as a rock, as a mountain, as a plant, as an alien, as a dog, in another planet, in another place. There's many, 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 many games and
Ah,
planets that people
okay.
can inhibit. There's Earth-like ones, even like ours, but more intelligent. There's
Oh,
others that are more
wow.
based on water, only water. It's so much. The other side is so vast, so big. It's incredible. I can't even begin to. We have 100 million galaxies, a billion galaxies. Theirs is a trillion, 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 trillion of places.
Gee.
It's incredible. So, I mean, a lot of people, you might hear the soul, oh, well, what is the media might tell you, oh, what is he doing now, my dead husband? Well, he's fishing right now in his
Uh,
favorite lake.
Uh-huh,
because
yeah, yeah.
he created that from the memory of his last life.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
His soul created the whole forest, the whole lake. You can create
Man.
anything that
Okay.
you experienced on the last life.
But it sounds like you can create anything you've experienced on any of your lives.
Yes, any
Is that true?
life, any life.
Any
Yes,
life,
yes,
any of your
yes,
lives.
yes, any life.
But there are some beings that have not had an Earth incarnation, apparently. So is that just is the planet Earth one of the most difficult of all the different incarnations, as far as you know?
Well, it's definitely it's definitely a more difficult place because of the duality and the third density, 3D density.
And you said we can go over there and we can create a physical body. You mean a solid body, not like this biology and all of the whole thing, because we'd have to come here and be 3D, right, to do that? But you're
No.
saying over there we can have experience a 3D reality over there?
Okay, let me explain something here. Okay.
Okay.
Um, on the other side, you can have a body that's not as dense, but it's a body.
Uh-huh.
I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
when I passed, I had a body. I was looking at my hand. It was a body there, but
Right.
it was much lighter than
Right.
this physical body. But you can, because you are a God, you can create a body on the other side and experience physical things if you want to. That's why you have some children who die or talk about, I'm eating ice cream and I'm in heaven, and they're cancer patients
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
Because
because
they're
they can
still
create, they can create it,
okay.
and they can taste the ice cream, and it tastes exactly like the vanilla ice cream they had here.
But on that side, I'm assuming there's there's no like evil and destruction.
You can experience low vibration evil, uh, let's say, yeah, fear, anger is on a lower vibration. Okay. On the other side, it's a higher vibration. And it doesn't mean, okay, if you die and you're still on the earth, you're still in the low vibration.
Yes, right.
Okay. You're still on a lower vibration. But if once you leave the physical plane of the earth, your soul leaves, then you go to a higher plane. Okay. When you die and you come into when you come out, let's say you're on 3D, because you're a soul now, you do experience more soul things, more power. You have more power. That's
Hmm.
why ghosts, they can slam doors, they can make the lights turn out, they can do all kinds of things with electricity and all kinds of other things and make objects move and break and all kinds of stuff. They have
Hmm.
power, but still they're in the 3D game because they're still on the earth. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they're not in their,
Okay.
they still have some power, but they're not in their complete full power they would be if they would leave the 3D density all
Yes,
completely.
that makes sense. Gosh, we're running out of time. Let me ask a few more questions.
You got it.
The Earth is a soul? You said something about that before.
The earth is definitely a soul. And well, that brings me to what's happening today.
That was my next
Um,
question. Yes, please.
well, the earth, but I have to explain a little bit the history of it for
Okay.
people to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, first thing, souls created this game called Earth. And Earth is a soul that said, okay, I'm going to play the game with you
Okay.
guys that you guys want to play. I'll play this game for a few billion years
Hmm.
for other souls to experience the third density. But when those billion years are up, I want to leave 3D because I don't like it that much.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to 5D.
Hmm.
Well, in 2012, the billion years were up.
Okay.
So that's when she started her ascension,
Okay.
actually. Okay, but the souls that created the game didn't want her to leave, and this is something that I got from the other side, is that no soul can control another
Oh.
soul. Okay, so
Mm.
they told her, no, you can't leave, and she said, yes, I'm leaving. I did my million years, and said, no, you can't leave. So what the earth did was she called what we would call star seeds. These are children to be born onto the earth
Okay.
to help her raise her vibration so she can go to 5D quicker. She could do it on her own, but like I think I explained that to you. If you move from another apartment, you can move everything by yourself, but it's going to take longer. But if you call your friends, guess what? It moves faster.
Speeds up the process. Yeah.
And that's what she did. That's what star
Huh.
seeds are there. And when they come, just from them being born onto the earth with their vibration, they don't have to do anything. That
Okay.
helps. That helps. And here's one more thing I want to say really quick. And this is probably going to blow your mind, and we're even ask for more questions. But one one download I got, and it was very strong, was that you cannot get this life wrong.
Oh, that's a relief.
You can't get it wrong. So people are saying, I'm on the wrong path. I'm like, no, you're on the right path, but you're supposed to be. You're on the right thing, but you're supposed to be. You can't get it wrong. That's the first thing. You cannot get it wrong.
Okay.
Just being born, just being here and being born is a great accomplishment. All the other souls are looking at you saying, bravo, wow, what a brave soul. Because you left all that perfection, all that love, all that security, all that power to come here, to be vulnerable, to be alone, to might not have even love, which is who you are. You did all of that, and you don't know what could happen. And then you also that you're going to lose your memory of that you were God. That's brave.
We're all brave.
That's what I want.
Everyone listening here.
Everyone listening here.
And
yes.
A few more questions.
You got it.
So why are people so against each other today? Why is there so much of this?
Okay. Well, this is the thing. First thing, what people don't realize, the Earth is now rising her vibration. She's been rising since 2012, but it's becoming more and more evident. And as she rises her vibration, the higher vibration, the higher you go, the more you're closer to other side characteristics, which is truth, which is love, which is light. And so as you're rising, you cannot tell lies and that you can hide them anymore.
Okay.
They're coming out, even if you have all the money in the world.
More
yes,
exposed.
Yes. And the Earth is asking the souls right now to make a choice. Either you want to stay on the 3D or you want to come with her to 5D.
All right. I vote 5D, but what if somebody votes 3D?
Yeah, but that's okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah?
But the thing is, yes, that's still okay in God's eyes, because that means you just chose the long way home. That's all.
Okay.
But the thing is, the Earth is going to do what I found about is timelines. There's going to be a timeline. She's going to split, and she's going to go. The real Earth is going to be on 5D, and this other timeline is going to be on 3D. Okay, and that split's going to happen. It's not going to be like you wake up one morning and millions of people have disappeared.
Right.
It's going to be very gradual, like from winter to summer. It's going to be gradually and gradually and gradually and gradually and gradually, and then poof, all of a sudden things are going to feel so good. All of a sudden, here's another thing also. As she's rising, it's changing our DNA. That's another thing that I got. And also,
yeah, that would make sense. Actually.
And also it's changing our DNA, and also that there's something else I want to say. It's rising, it's changing our DNA, and also this choice that we're going to make. It's just the Earth giving us this chance and this choice. That's all. And the Earth, the Earth is she's gonna leave it. So in 5D, you're gonna have the powers almost, the veil is gonna be so thin between 5D and the other side. The first thing, you're not gonna need food. There's gonna be total telepathy and total communication with everything that's on the planet, plants, animals. You're not gonna have a need to kill animals for food. You can create it with your mind. You can get food from the sun. There's going to be only love and joy on the 5D. There's no other lower vibrations. There's a 4D, which is in between, which is also parts of the earth are there right now in 4D, and some parts right now are in 5D. And these are jungles that are uninhabited, a lot of places that are mountains that are uninhabited and it's only exposed to the universe. There, a lot of them are already in 5D on the timeline. So
Vibrating on a 5D
yes,
level.
a 5D level, exactly.
Interesting. So if we traveled there, would we feel it? Would we be able to stand the vibration of that location?
Well, you're gonna sometimes feel it. Sometimes we have symptoms. The thing is, our bodies are changing. I don't know if you experience that. Sometimes one day you're super energetic, the next day you have no energy, and you don't know why. It's not because you're not eating good or nothing like that. You just don't know why, because the earth changes her energy every day. It's going higher, and your body needs time to catch up. It needs time to match with the vibration. And sometimes you're going to have aches and pains in your body that you never had before. You can't explain why. And then they just mysteriously go away.
That was arthritis.
Well, usually that doesn't go away so easily. So, but yeah, this is a very special time we're living in, and it's going to divide families, friends, and all that stuff, because souls, and also some souls are just going to leave because they want to play the game of duality and they didn't want the earth to change now, and they're fed up and they leave. They just leave. That's why you're going to see a lot of actors and leaders and celebrities. They just die all of a sudden. Nobody knows what happened. What? So yeah,
because they'd rather it just stay 3D because they didn't want to go to the 5D. Is that
they don't. Well, they don't want to. Yeah, because they came here for that experience.
They came here just 3D. For the 3D.
Yes, and they don't want to stick around as it's changing and then wait for the earth to divide and all that stuff and then go to 3D. They don't want to do that. So they don't want to play the game anymore. So they leave. They just go.
I know we're way over time, but just one last question.
You got it.
I keep saying that. But are the aliens or ETs, do they have any influence over what's going on right now then with the transition?
Yes, they're watching it, and they're hoping that we're gonna that the humanity is going to evolve in their thinking and in their vibration. It's a big test for humanity right now, and they're hoping that humanity or most humanity will rise to the test, to pass the test.
Oh, okay.
They're also, here's another thing, they're also been here with us, and some of them are among us. Well, here's some very controversial stuff.
Bring it on.
That governments know about them.
Okay.
Also, they're not telling you all the truth about the alien situation. And there's some good ones and some not so good ones. But the not so good ones are losing the battle for control over humanity, because they've been manipulating humanity for quite a long time. And now, because the earth is changing her frequency, they're losing that control. There is I also got this galactic federation.
Oh, right.
That does exist. I was not a person to believe in aliens and all that stuff, but I do now because of my downloads. And they're watching it. They're not allowed usually to interfere with our evolution. So that's why they don't. Only time they interfere is when they feel that you're going to start to affect the universes and the galaxies. Okay. And we did with the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. So now they kind of put a block on that. So there never will be a nuclear war here, by the way. It's all talk.
That's one thing that they will stop.
Well, they already stopped. They already stopped nuclear testing in Russia and in America, but they don't want to tell you that.
Okay.
they had sightings when they were doing nuclear tests. I think it was in 2006 or 7 or even 2001 or something like that. And
Mm.
they had 3 spaceships show up basically, and a beam of light went to where the nuclear bombs were that they were going to test, and then the nuclear bombs didn't work anymore.
Ah.
That also happened in Russia. So um, so
Mm.
there will be no nuclear war. It's only threats. That's it. Because any nuclear explosion affects the whole universe. It doesn't only affect the Earth.
Yeah. Right.
Those waves go out to the whole universe, and it affects the universe and galaxy in a bad way. So it's like the aliens said, "Watch out! The kids have the matches now. We got to get to them. We got to stop them."
When you said they are here, some of them are here among us, do you mean in physical containers, or do you mean on another vibratory level, but they're kind of here?
Both.
Oh. Okay, so in your understanding, ET consciousness can inhabit a physical container,
Oh,
and
most definitely.
it's still it's a different kind of consciousness than.
Yeah. Yes. Well, there's not just one. There's many kinds of ETs. There's not just one brand, but there's a certain number of ETs that have been visiting the Earth for thousands of years.
Do
And
you want to throw out any names? And you don't have to, but of the races that, as far as your understanding, and you don't have to.
and Anunnaki, the Greys. What else did I get? Reptilian. Reptilians are like these lizard type of aliens. Most of them are probably around in Australia and also in South Pole, North Pole, and also desert places, barren desert places. Yeah,
Wow.
and
Okay.
I think I said Greys. Yeah, there's Greys,
Grace,
and there's
Anunnaki.
also Venerians, which is
Oh,
like
Venereal.
people from Venus,
Oh.
they've also visited Italy. They even came to a town in Italy and tried to tell the people about
Hmm.
the power of love. And
Hmm.
they were saying that love, and this is true, I found it in my downloads too, that love is knowledge.
Hmm.
Love is untold wisdom. Even if a person has never written a book or read a book, if they're loving, they're going to have a lot of knowledge.
Hmm.
Knowledge comes through love.
Hmm.
And these aliens were in a little town of Italy. You can look this up. They came in, I think, in the 60s or something. And it was a quiet situation. They kept it quiet, but it
Oh.
was documented.
Do you remember the name of the
And
town?
I can find out and send it to you.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to look it up.
It was documented, and they were there to pick up some I think uranium or something like that, and they
Hmm.
needed certain kind of materials and rocks or
Interesting.
whatever. And one was very short and one was very tall, and they
Okay.
would they would appear and talk through radio, and they would appear to them, and it was
Hmm.
Italians, and they were a group of Italians, and they did favors for them. If they brought these uranium rocks or whatever, they would recreate money for them, a
Okay.
copy money for them. They just have to bring one copy, and they would make copies of for money for them, so they would have money. They had the power to transport, like appear and disappear.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
and
I'm
their
gonna look that
message to
up.
them, was that love. They said the Italians asked him if somebody was trying to um, hurt you, or if somebody insulted you, would you hurt them? And they said that they would rather kill themselves than to hurt another,
Mm.
and that love is the power, love is knowledge. They tried to tell them love is the
Hmm.
key, not only to the earth but to the universe, to everything.
Well,
And yeah.
it sounds like the Earth well, at least the 5D Earth has a bright future. So that's hopeful. Oh gosh, we are so far off time, but just what is the timeline for this transition to more of these beautiful things for our 5D Earth?
Well,
Like,
the
is
thing
it
is, I don't have exact timeline on it, but I just
okay?
know that it's moving quite fast.
Okay.
And
Like in
that's,
our generation
oh,
or our
most, I
kids'
would,
generation or our grandkids' generation?
not even grandkids, I would say in our generation.
Oh, that's
It's
really
moving.
fast then.
Yeah, because as every year that goes by, it's going to be faster than the year before. There's going to be
Okay.
more things that happen. I don't know if you even feel it. You might even can feel that time is not the same anymore as it was.
No, it's not.
You
It's not.
can you can
It's,
actually feel how fast a day goes. It never was that fast. I'm talking about never.
oh yeah, it's ridiculously fast right now. Absolutely.
And it's going to speed up. And if you look in science, the Schumann resonance, which is normally, that's the electrical pulse of the earth, is normally 7.8, and now it's at 10 or 11.
Hmm.
That's the beat of the earth, and that's affecting us. We're electricity. When you die, what do?
Huh.
They try to pump electricity in you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're part electricity and water.
Wow. Okay, Dennis,
Yeah.
man, this has been so cool. Okay, how can the listeners contact you? And I'm going to put your links in the video description. I think you just use
Okay.
your email, right?
Yes, they can contact me through my email. Uh, if they contact me through my email, I also do phone sessions, but only under emergency causes. But mostly I do Zoom or Skype readings.
Okay.
And they can contact me for consultation or something like that about downloads or about past life or about today, what's happening today, or about health, partner, parents, kids, whatever they would like to know. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, expect to be even more busy. I know you're a busy guy, but
Yes, but I really appreciate
this is fun.
shows like yours. I wait for shows like yours because it's so great that what you're doing, exposing the unknown, and the questions you're asking and the people you're having on your show. It's really, really wonderful. And even your stories, sharing your stories, it's really wonderful. And I think it's a time we're living in now that people want answers
Yes.
because more than ever before. And so that's why I like to come on your show and give as much as I got,
Mm.
if it can help someone, because it sure helped me a lot. And at the same time blew my mind, but it also helped me a lot to understand what's going on. And the thing I want to leave your listeners with is that
Yes, please.
please remember joy, and happier and happier.
Joy.
I know it sounds corny and it sounds like that, but and prayers, that's another thing. Download the prayers are more powerful than you think. They can change DNA, they can do all
Oh,
kinds of
love.
things.
Okay.
um if you don't believe me, check out the movie Superhuman, Invisible Now Made Visible.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, check it out. There you have 7-year-old kids reading books,
It's,
blindfolded, they're reading the books
yep.
with their soul.
It's
Okay, it's
so wild
powerful.
to watch. Yeah, I've seen it. Watch it. Yeah.
Yes, so that's what I'd say. So the planet is rising. There's more light coming to the planet. So don't be fooled by the news or the government telling you it's darker and there's more of this and that. That's something they want you to believe because they know if you believe something, you can create the timeline that it will happen.
Mm. Wow, great. Okay. Joy,
Okay,
prayers,
that's
so
right.
much hope. So
Yes, happier and happier.
this is a great message.
If you can write down on a piece of paper 10 things that make you automatically happy. So when you feel your vibration pulling down, you go to that list and pick one and do it. It could be chocolate ice cream. It could be a funny movie. It could be a cartoon. Could be your best friend. Could be your baby child. Could be
Yeah.
your cat, your dog. Could be, and also quickly, walking in the nature is raising your vibration automatically. Sitting under a tree for half an hour raises your
Huh.
vibration automatically.
Nice. That's awesome. This has been so helpful and
Oh,
so
you're
fun
great
and
too.
so
And I thank you.
fascinating.
Julie,
So
I thank you for your open-mindedness and your questions and your program. You're doing a lot of good for
my
humanity.
pleasure. My pleasure. It brings me joy. So
Yes,
so thank you. And thank you for everyone to everyone for watching. I know
yes,
we went over time, but there's just so much amazing information here and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this
Yes.
type of content that we're sharing on the channel, then subscribe and hit the bell icon so you are alerted to future videos. And I hope you are all having a fantastic day or evening, wherever you are on the planet or off the planet. And
Right.
see y'all next time. Bye.
All right. Ciao, Julie.